Welcome to Functions Exercise Lecture. So we have a total of 4 tasks here. The first one is import random inside a function with 2 parameters. And what I want you to do is work with this code here, this incomplete code, and you can just simply copy and paste it into an empty cell if you're using the PDF, or just simply pause this video, copy out this code, and then give this a try by referring to the hints, the final input and the final output. So what we have here is the final inputs. So the first one and the second one, and they give their own respective outputs, as you can see here. And the hints are as follows. Number 1, name the function compute and import random as RD. Number 2, the function compute has 2 non-default parameters, rad and num. Number 3, the for loop uses both if and else control flow. Number 4, use calc.append in 2 parts of this function, one for the if and the other for the else. Number 5, for the if statement, use modulus, where modulus 2 is equal to num and is greater than 10. Then number 6, don't forget to use the return at the end of your function. And lastly, number 7, for the prints, use the sum from calc. So if you don't use the return, you won't get the output of these 2 lists here. And if you don't do the sum, you won't get the summation of these 2 lists, which gives 56 and 60. Okay, so moving on to the second task, which is call a nested function and modify its default parameter. So what you're going to do is have a nested function called lang, and you're going to call the lang within another function that you're going to create called Udemy. So you're putting the lang function inside of Udemy, and you're going to call lang within Udemy along with Udemy's own print statements. And then you have the desired output of my favorite language is Python. The coolest part about Python is functions. And then you've got these hints here, there's 4 in total. So number 1, create a function called Udemy that uses a single print. Number 2, for lang, the default parameter is JavaScript, which uses the format function. Number 3, for Udemy, the parameter can be changed. It also uses format. And number 4, call lang inside of Udemy, and you'll get this output here, as you can see. So moving on to the third task. So function repeats another function with inputs. So what you're going to be doing here is similar to what we had in the second task, where you're using a nested function. In this case, the nested function is greet. So you've got default name equal to Michael, and then you have print hello there. And then you have the desired output. So as you can see, it's repeating the greet function 3 times, because it says hello there 3 times with the names for each of these students. So Michael, Sarah, Callum. And then you've got the hints. So number 1, for the function repeat, and that's the name of the function that you're going to be using where the greet is going to be going inside of, use a parameter called n for the for loop. So if you think of n equal to 3, then it's going to repeat this function, the greet function, 3 times. Number 2, in repeat, use the input method and assign it to a variable called name. And number 3, place the greet function inside the repeat function. So you'll want to have repeat have its own print statement, which is going to be student name. Okay, but that's going to occur within the inputs. So moving on to task 4, and this is probably the largest function that you're going to come across within this course. So task 4, function with control flow and formatting. And what I want you to do is work with this code here. And as you can see, we've got to add in a total of 7 lines of code. So you need to add logic for these control flow statements, the if, the elif, and the other elif. And then you've got to do something here, which should be quite obvious considering these are strings with curly brackets. And as an example, it says how many zombies are there? So you put 110 in for the inputs. Then Michael is running from 110 zombies. And the hints as follows are, number 1, use the eval and an operator. I'm not going to tell you what operator is, it should be quite obvious though. Number 2, for the if statements, zombie between 1 and under 20. So what you have here, scroll up, is zombie. There's a reason why I'm assigning zombie from zom1, the inputs, and you're going to have to use the eval function somewhere there. And then number 3, for the first elif statement, zombie between 20 and under 100. And then for the second elif statement, zombie between 100 and under 200. So give all of these a try, and don't worry if you aren't able to get them done. The solutions are going to be available in the PDF, and good luck.